Hello and welcome to another Nordic Takedown podcast episode. It is episode 72, and we are in the middle of the summer in Sweden, and it's feeling like really, really hot here. We've closed our windows and balcony doors and are sweating for you guys. And today it's me, I'm so humble, and I'm joined by Viktor.
Hello.
Hello, Viktor. And we have also Pontus here today.
Hey.
Hello.
And that's how you know we're going to talk about rule changes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's not all I talk about.
So, Viktor has already spoiled the agenda, which is quite slim today. But it is very important with these rule changes because we are moving into Galactic soon. So we're going to talk a little bit about Galactics and especially the rules coming into Galactics. Some of them are relevant for it, and some are more relevant for other things as well. But first, we're going to do our regular Cantina catch-up. So I'm going to start with our guest here. How's your SWU life been, Pontus, since you've been here lastly?
I mean, I've been playing weekly, pretty much, at my local store in Västerås. And right now I'm very excited for the Quinlan. No, not Quinlan. Qui-Gon. Sorry. Names.
Almost the same thing.
Yeah. 2 Force users that are the same colors and everything. But Qui-Gon Jinn deck. That's I'm having a lot of fun with. We'll probably make a deck tech here any day now. So might be seeing that soon.
Yeah,
so
you can spoil really all your secrets, right? Because you're not going to Galactics, yeah.
Yep. So that's what I've been doing. And one thing I can mention briefly, that we will be doing more SWU here in Västerås for those that live close by. So we'll be having one monthly premier tournament that will be one of every quarter will be like a competitive one. So that's going to be fun.
Nice. But looking forward to see how that evolves. Both me and Viktor is in this close range that if we really want to go, we can go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Viktor, how about you? You and I did the pod last week with some technical difficulties. You got to edit. That's new for you.
Yep. No, yeah. But it turned out fine. I've been doing the same thing. I'm in a grind. I'm in the grind. I'm sitting with whoever wants to grind with me and just trying to get as many games in as possible. I think maybe I've settled on the deck now. I'm tuning it still a little bit, tweaking it, but mainly I'm done. I think in picking a deck. And that's big.
That's huge.
Yeah, because it's pretty much, it's less than a week till I have to go to Arlanda, the international airport closest to me, and board the plane.
Yeah. We'll be on the same plane.
Yeah.
And we'll have a few days to play in Vegas, right? But at that point, we need to have brought the cards. So it's important to know the deck at least, and then bring all the cards.
I guess you can bring some extra cards for that last bit of fine tuning.
Yes, I will.
But I'm not bringing my collection. It's not. It's got to be in a pretty finalized state once you get on that plane. There can be some small tweaks, of course, but mainly it's got to be done.
I think I will probably bring a second and maybe a third deck, just because if it goes poorly on Saturday, there's a lot of side events on Sunday, and maybe you're not that keen on playing your main deck then. So maybe having at least one deck, or you just go with one and say, I'm going to win, and if I don't, I'm stuck with this.
Yeah, I'm probably only bringing one Premier deck, but I am bringing a Twin Suns deck as well.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm.
So I have a Twin Suns deck. I've managed to get it up to 80 cards now. I have not put as much thought into that as I have my,
Yeah.
my Premier deck.
What?
but
Seems
What do you
reasonable.
but it's and also I'm you know I'm not thinking about it. It's I love that format, and I'm very much looking forward to having a couple of games in, but also like just checking out what I'm like that there are meetups and people are just starting to announce like we're going to do this and we're going to do that and getting invited to stuff, so trying to fit everything in, it's going to be fine. And also I did do something really cool. I ordered, and I have enough for you as well, Adam. I ordered stickers for the Nordic Takedown that we can hand out to everyone we're playing against, but I hope I get them in time.
Yeah, and we can put it on our deck boxes.
Yeah, exactly. But
All
they're
right.
supposed to be delivered Friday, and we're traveling Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, Tuesday.
So if it's more than one day off on delivery, we won't be getting them. But hopefully, everyone playing us at Galactics will be getting a sticker.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is
That's
it like
cool.
the logo or
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's quite nice dice cut
Yeah.
logo sort of thing. That they look really nice. So
Sweet.
I hope I get them in time. That's
Yeah.
what I've been up to. What have you been up to, Adam?
I've been on vacation until this Sunday. Like now I've been gone almost 4 weeks. Very limited Star Wars play during those 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It was basically those two PQs on the old set while everyone else was grinding for the Galactics. I've been feeling a little bit, what would you call it? Outdated. Like everyone is so far ahead in the new set compared to me. But I'm getting there. I'm closing in on like a deck. I think I have like I feel like I have a backup deck, right? That if I don't get the one I want to work, I will plug that in and go. Especially if I don't get the cards in time as well. I have some ordered cards that might not get in time, so I might need to fix that. But other than that, it's been starting the grind, realizing you suck and need to, and yeah, it's been both like I wouldn't say it's been fun or boring. It's been challenging because I like winning too much to have the defeats to be like fun. But I would say challenging because like I feel like if I nail it, I will have a great chance. If I don't, I can just settle in on the side events because I do jump into day 2 right away. So it's when I've been prepping, it's been a bit different because you will not meet the field.
No.
In day 2, you will meet all like winners, past winners, and the guys who made 6-2 or 5 wins and 3 draws from day 1.
Yep.
So all the jank decks will probably be out.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be Yank decks.
Yeah,
But there'll
some.
be Yank decks in the hands of very capable players.
Yeah.
And also, there might be like old decks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people that won their PQ with a deck and for some reason they don't want to switch.
Yeah, or they can't.
And they'll bring a more or less updated version of something old.
Yeah,
Sure.
but they will be like less of the jank.
For sure.
If you go to Lille your first day, you can fit the first 4 rounds. Maybe you meet some weird decks. You will not get that here in day 2. You might on day 1, Viktor, get some.
I might. Which makes it so hard to predict what to bring and sideboard and so on.
You have a different like preparation. You need to have a deck that beats the field as well to get to day 2 and then beat the meta. Meanwhile, we who start day 2 realistically can just think about like, oh, which ones are the 5 top decks, because that is very likely you get one of those from game 1.
So you can't submit different decks for day 1 and 2?
Nope.
No.
Oh,
And
Same deck through the whole tournament.
Yeah,
and
that's a big deal.
and we who start day 2 need to submit it the same time as day 1 players. So
Yeah, you can't wait and see. So yeah, they're two different challenges, and I think obviously I have to do both of them.
Yeah.
But I think both of them are equally hard challenges.
Yeah.
We don't actually know what the gauntlet should look like. We know some of it.
Yeah.
We can be fairly certain of a couple of things in that gauntlet,
For
but we
sure.
don't know how big shares the different things will get, and we don't know, like, the main teams have been dark moding for a bit now.
Yeah.
So you don't know what they're going to bring. Like, if you look at Minnesota and the whole Boston network showed up with Vader 4 yellow.
Yeah.
I don't think people expected them to do that, and that's the sort of thing. We don't know what they're bringing. I have my suspicions because I know some of them, and I know kind of what kind of people they are, but I don't know for sure, obviously, because they're not saying, they're not telling.
Yeah, like, and everyone, as you said, dark moding. Like, I'm usually playing during my own name on Petronaki. I am not doing that now. Like,
Right, of course.
that, like, I'm not even sleeving up, right? I'm not using the sleeves to marketing my own channels because I don't want it to be like, because now when you're in a team, if they think one of you are doing it, it might, if you're playing the same as the others, it might spread over. And like, I guess if I was the only one to play it, it would be positive for my other teammates, right? Then I could show it, but it would still be bad for me. So
yeah.
But you are practicing with Enigma, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're in their grind, so you have some. You're
I'm
not alone in the.
No, I'm joining there, like, already progress. The gauntlet they have been like working through the last 4-5 weeks when I've been in out in Europe, traveling, living in the old set, eating good pizza and pasta. So I'm joining in and trying to, but it is hard. Like, they are so far ahead. Like, it's like you definitely feel like a tier below, and I'm getting closer, but I'm still like, am I gonna get there until like Thursday next week? That's where I'm at, and that's where the challenge, right, is coming in. It's possible. Like, I swapped to Quinlan Tarkentown before Lille 3 days before traveling. Like, so it can happen. But this is it's a fun. It's gonna be a fun experience, and like, I'm so hyped about like the whole event. Like, roughly 2,500 players, right? Roughly.
Yeah. So cool.
It's a big one, and that's the main event. Then you have, on top of that, you have everyone that's just not in the main event but still attending. There will be more than 3,000 people attending this thing.
Most likely, yeah.
No, I'd be surprised if it weren't. Like, you have a couple of 100 people in the staff alone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's certainly going to get over 3,000 people. I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like close to 4,000, honestly, like with the excitement around this stuff.
I mean, I don't know how many people they will let in, to just browse, but maybe it's in Vegas. People might just stop by.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's going to be a huge one, and like, of course, I'm looking forward to playing and all that. Like, playing the main event. That's the main event.
Yeah, but without that, we would not go.
No,
we wouldn't fly from Sweden.
I mean, there's so much else that's on here that's going to be so exciting. Like, there's so many people I'm going to get to meet that I've been talking to a lot online, and getting to meet all these people face to face is just like, that's maybe just as much of a thing for me as the playing, actually. And
I wish I could go.
I'm gonna have a good time. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but moving on from this fun stuff now to the more serious stuff. Pontus, you have the rules, right? There is some updates.
There's
start with the first.
There's we already got the comprehensive rules, and there are no big changes, but there has actually been a couple of changes to. More than a couple, but some changes to the tournament regulations and to the FFG master event document that are relevant to talk about here. And I think a couple of them are interesting and maybe even exciting to talk about. But I think we should start with the one that's like more like of important to people to realize and think about, and that is about spectating. Because they have changed. I don't remember what the exact wording was before, but they've updated the wording to when how to handle when a spectator witnesses a gameplay mistake. And they say that, well, first of all, it's always been the case that you shouldn't interrupt the game or shouldn't say anything to the players. But they've clarified that what you should do, and I'll read it verbatim here. They should respectfully call for a floor judge. The spectator may let the players know that they believe they saw an error, but should refrain from specifying the error or giving any details before speaking with the judge. So that's what they have specified. So, and that includes on streams as well. So if you're watching a stream and you see something going wrong, then like you need to try to get, if you can get access to a floor judge, then that's the path you should take, so to speak.
So this is very relevant to what we often do, but that's mainly how we have handled such things.
Yeah.
Whenever comments or we as commentators have spotted a play mistake that somehow puts the game into a erroneous game state, then we've always tried, if we can, to contact the judges. But that's the extent to what we've ever done. We've never done anything else.
I think it's more relevant. I mean, I know for a fact that it happens at events that people don't realize that they shouldn't interrupt. Like, it feels so natural because when you're playing your like casual games at your local store or something, then you're just like, hey, you forgot to do this, but that's not allowed. So and like this is a good way of like just clarifying that this is how you should do it, just so you know.
And this is like even on mandatory triggers, right?
Yeah.
If you see that someone forgets to restore to, you're not allowed to point and say, even though it's a mandatory thing.
Exactly, it's for the players that aren't involved in the game.
mean, for if someone forgets the restore, shouldn't you call a judge then?
Yeah. But you shouldn't go in and say like, hey, this is a mandatory thing.
Exactly.
At a casual event, you can for sure, but in any event where you have a judge, you should not. Right. And depends on your local scene as well, like what relationship you guys have and stuff like that. But in a place where there is like multiple players from different scenes around, just do it simple and clean. Because in the worst case, you might like remind someone of something that they should not have been reminded about, and then they keep reminding it the whole game, and the whole game is completely different, right? So I think that's a good a good clarification, but people will still mess up on this one, but it's good that there is also like there is punishment for doing this, right?
Even for spectators.
Unfortunately, that doesn't help the game state. So like making this mistake is like you're screwing up for yourself and like potentially like a player. So you like a double screw up when you do this. Please avoid doing it.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because talking about it here on the podcast makes more people aware of it.
Sure.
So the more interesting parts then. The more like maybe let's bring it to one that I'm interested in hearing your inputs on, and I think it's interesting. It's about draft play, because they've actually updated the rules for draft play. Most interestingly, they've added rules for how to do it in competitive events, which by definition, all draft play was casual before. But now they've added rules for how to do a competitive draft play. And that implies to me that they, of course, are gonna start having competitive draft play. So like, I want to hear what you think about that, more than talking about the specifics.
I mean, Adam and me, we just handled that topic last podcast, and I think we were pretty unanimously very in favor of such a thing.
Yeah.
I think we both feel like that's a very good field for them to move into, a place they have not gone yet, but they should. Like that's certainly somewhere I like. I'd like to have PQs for draft, like
That
draft
would
events.
be super cool. Yeah.
I think I have like some reservations to it, like in a way how they handle it, because I think they can handle it bad as well. But like,
Yeah.
I think adding, like we have had this discussion I'm in the Swedish Discord group, right? Yeah, if they don't increase PQs and just remove some premier ones for these draft ones, I don't like it,
No,
because
yeah.
No, I agree.
I think this should be another one. Like here in Sweden, maybe we get 2 PQs, one draft and one, or like maybe they say the Nordics should have 7 PQs. Denmark gets 2, Sweden gets 2, and then that's one of each in those, right? Something like that.
Sure.
And I absolutely don't want them to do like bigger tournaments with draft and premier in the same, where you play 4 rounds of Swiss with a normal deck and then go into 3 rounds of draft and then another rounds of Swiss. I really want this separated from each other, like because it's different skills.
It doesn't sound like they are planning for that, because in that case, I think they would have another event type for that.
Yeah.
Like
I think that Flesh and Blood does it that way.
Yep.
They have a few rounds of draft in the middle of their big tournaments, and I don't think that's a route they're going to take here. It doesn't feel like that's what they're doing. But what they might be doing might be, and I don't know if I'm in favor or against it, but a route I definitely see could be taken here, and it's definitely what they did with the old national championships for the LCGs, and that make one person organize a bigger event. So you would have 2 events organized by the same organizer, and it would be more of a weekend rather than just a
that would
single
be
day
cool.
thing. And I think that's definitely a route they could be going. The old Nordics, as it were, which was the equivalent of the national level events for FFG back in the days, those were almost always like one organizer got to organize the Nordic Championships for all of the FFG games. So you would have both the miniature games like X-Wing and Armada and all of those at the same tournament as you would have Game of Thrones, Star Wars LCG, Netrunner. All of them would be on the same taking place during a weekend, and we would always have like Melee and Game of Thrones. Like you do Melee the first day, and you do Game of Thrones,
which is multiplayer.
Melee was their version of Twin Sons.
Yeah.
And then you'd have the tournament for Premier, the version of Premier that we had the day after. So that's certainly a route they could be taking. It's a route they are familiar with, and it makes sense somewhat. I'm not 100% sure I like it, because it means that a lot of people that travel to the event would have to book a room or something. So it makes it slightly harder to attend these events. But for those that do attend, it gets to be a bigger thing. It's more of a local event. Yeah.
So, but it's also harder to hold those events if it's that big of a thing. Like right now, holding for someone to like have a PQ, or it's not like a huge deal to for a store that's big enough to just have the PQ in their store. But if it's like bigger than that over a weekend, and it becomes a big deal suddenly. Also,
I think you can do like let's. I think Alpha Spel and Monatorsk has the biggest venues I've seen in Sweden, like store wise. Could be wrong, but I think you just cap it. To say we take 80 players, something like that. So we have 80 spots for the draft on Saturday and 80 for the premiere on Sunday, or Friday and Sunday. Maybe it becomes like something like that. And then like people can buy into it, and you can buy either both or buy one, and then you can play in the same store, right? You don't have to book a venue. It's more if they do all the Star Wars games, but I think they are going to keep unlimited to unlimited in this case. And I'm not opposed to store having like this ability to like you are going to get to host the PQ for Sweden, right? Do you also want to have drafts? Like, do you want to have both? Something like that kind of approach.
Yeah, that could work.
But what I would like to say is like if they do PQs for draft, I hope they have like a different pricing, like the draft the PQ mat maybe, or like something like in that one the prices are like more associated with like draft cards or something like that. So it's because it will be
they must do that.
Different things to win, like because just for the value and stuff.
Like another idea I just popped into my head is that maybe they could do like a season that where all the PQs are draft PQs.
I hope they don't, but that could be because I think Premiere is too important to remove for 3 months.
Yeah, I don't think they would do it like for season 1 or maybe not even season 2, but it's like open up the potential if there's enough interest in draft play. To do
season is a very long time. That's 3 sets.
That's true.
I don't even think you can do it for a set.
Exactly.
No, that's true. It wouldn't really make much sense, actually. That's good.
I think it should be in addition to the structure they already have. I think there's room to grow, and I think like if you look at where the growth is taking place, it's sure there are more competitive players now maybe than there were half a year ago, but I think the main growth that we see is within this sort of more casual tier.
Draft and Twin Suns,
exactly. Draft, Twin Suns. That this is where we see the game grow, and I mean, if you look at other card games of this sort, we know for sure that those formats have the huge potential. Like Commander is by far the largest format for Magic.
If they didn't have Commander, the game would be dead now.
Exactly.
As how they push the competitive scenes, money, and drain them. Like if not for Commander, like
there wouldn't be any Magic. And Draft is also hugely popular. If you look at a regular Friday Night Magic event, Draft is usually the big one. The thing that the tournament that is played at those places, and then you have all the people playing Commander not actually competing. So
I agree. Like it's huge because like just take in my scene here, there are a lot of like a few Lorcana players, but they push that game so hard set wise, 4 sets a year, just a rotation. So I'm not going to be able to keep up for Premiere, but I would go and play Draft, but the game is not designed so that it doesn't have Draft. So
exactly.
which means I can't play it casually. So they miss out of a casual player because like playing two card games competitively is
it's a lot.
It's too much.
Both money and time, right? So I like the idea to add it. I think in the future, I also hope they will add. Do they call it Legends or the all sets?
I don't think they've actually. Have they said the name officially? I don't know that they have, but the evergreen version, so to speak.
The Eternity.
The only thing they've said so far is the trilogy. Trilogy is the only, and obviously trilogy and Twin Suns are the 2 formats with no rotation.
But they have said that there will be another one that I've said.
All right. So there will be a premiere with just no rotation.
Something like that, at least, with its own restriction list.
And I think that one also needs to get one at some point. If they want to. Otherwise, the cards will not be worth anything. It doesn't have to be the premier thing of all time, but like having that as well. At some point, if you see that the player base is big enough. But I think moving into Draft first is the right way.
Certainly. I think that's absolute way to go.
What's the most important rules here then?
I mean, there's only really rules about time, which like it says, for example. So for one thing, I don't know what it said before, but they have changed it. I'm not sure, to during casual drafts that you have 1 minute to look at the new pack before you do your first pick. But in competitive, it's 30 seconds.
All right.
And
So there's
it's also
nothing
like,
about like writing down deck lists or documenting the cards you drafted or something like that.
no. The only changes are that you have less time between packs to look at like the first pick for each pack, and you have you're not allowed to look at your already drafted cards in competitive, and there's also a recommended time for each pick, so to keep it snappy, so to speak. That's really the only changes.
No rules for documenting the cards is a little bit scary.
Yeah, but it might be that's
the time makes it impossible. Something.
No,
like
but
that.
this is about how to play draft play. It might be that it's implied that you have a deck list because it's a competitive event or something. I haven't looked into that. Like it might be under competitive events, the chapter for that you all have a deck list, and this isn't. This is implied because it's a competitive draft.
Yeah, but if you look at competitive draft in most games, once you've drafted, you have to write down.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You drafted because you need to document, because there's such a huge risk of cheating.
Oh, yeah. Bring the cards in from the side. Yeah.
So this is very scary that they haven't made any, like, for competitive draft in most tournaments I know, you are to write down the pack. You open the pack and you write down everything in it, and then you start to draft with the pack.
Yeah, but my point is that I'll see if I can find it real quick. But my point is that it might be that they have I don't remember exactly, but they might have a part of the tournament regulations that says for all competitive events you have to write a deck list.
Oh, it could happen. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, but with draft you want to open the pack, write down everything in the pack, and give it
before
to
you pick.
Oh, yeah, because otherwise you can
just...
I see. Okay.
This is hugely important. Yeah. This is hugely important. And nowadays people just photograph it, but it used to be that you wrote down what's in the pack and then you send it off.
Photograph is even better.
Yeah, of course it is.
Because,
but that's what everyone does now. So what you do, you open the pack, you take a photo of the full, you spread it out and take a photo, like in some for that, and then you start the draft, and then you open the next pack, you do the same again. All right, that's what you need to do. The only way around that is maybe you, if you have a sealed, you do sealed for the first few rounds in order to sort of whittle down the number of people, so you get a little smoother.
They didn't add any rules for competitive sealed.
That makes sense.
Because if they want to do a huge tournament, not like using sealed as a way to sort of whittle down the field to a smaller size makes a lot of sense. Like you would do, if it would be a 2-day event, you'd do seal the first day, and then top 64 players would make it into next day, and you'd have draft rounds for that.
The problem is that seal leaves a very little skill expression, so people would not be as interested in going to the event. It's very hard to go to top 64 if you just got bad decks.
Yeah, for sure. It's just that it's a way of sort of managing a huge event. Like you see that in some other games. I know for sure that Pokemon does it that way. And I think also Yu-Gi-Oh! Does it that way. It's just a way to, when there's such a huge event and you need to go around collecting these slips from every one of their opening packs for every pack. That's such a huge thing to do. Like with the sealed pool, it's a lot easier to have everyone compete for one day with the sealed pool, and then you move into the actual draft. I'm stoked that they're actually thinking about doing it, and I think there's a learning curve here. Obviously, other games have gone through this. It's a little bit unfortunate that FFG isn't very compelled to learn from other mistakes. They have to make all the mistakes themselves, but
they can still change it, update it as they go. So
I hope.
Yeah. So no tournaments are yet announced, so this is probably, I would say, this is them teasing.
Yeah,
and then they're gonna announce it on a video later. They do these videos almost weekly. It's not true, but monthly at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's cool. But there is one for change from Premiere as well, right?
Yeah, there's one important change that will be impactful for you guys next week.
This is something
hopefully,
you've been asking for.
hopefully, let's put it like that. Yes. So I'll read it verbatim here as well. It says, in events where there is a top cut during single elimination rounds, the player that went into the top cut as the higher seed determines who starts with initiative for the first game of the match. So instead of randomizing.
Love it. I would most likely have won the whole tournament in Berlin if that was the rule, because I was facing Sabine and I lost the initiative roll even though I was second seed in. And Sabine is a lot weaker on not starting the game than winning. And it was so tight that my 2 losses. So I love this change.
I like it as well because it incentivizes not doing
intentional draws.
Intentional draws, exactly. Because the seed is much more important now.
Yeah.
I mean, even before we had the intentional draw things, I know for sure that you, Adam, have been asking for exactly this.
Yeah.
This is something that we've been talking about for a while. I do think back when we went the first PQ in Denmark, almost all of our Swedish contingent got crushed in top 8. We had half the top 8.
It was actually the top 1, 2, 3, and 4 all lost to 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, exactly. And might not have been the case if you get to pick the initiative. At least Kevin was the only one made it through, and you 3 others lost your top 8 games.
Yeah. I think this is the least I think you should get. I was even talking about maybe picking your opponent. That's probably what I would have wanted, for winning.
That's a little bit too much. There is
picking from the bottom 4.
I get what you mean. The top seed get to pick his opponent, then the second seed gets to pick, and so on.
I see a bunch of problems with that, so I think this is an easy fix, so to speak, to get.
So I think that's what I would have preferred to see, but I think having something was the most important, right? Now you probably on our smaller PQs that are just over 32, where people could go 4-0 double draw in, that doesn't guarantee them top 4. Which means they will not always get this initiative. So now they might actually play the last two games to get a higher seed, or at least draw the first one and then play out the last one. Something like that, because seeding matters. Right now it's matters nothing, because you can't predict how people will. Well, if you're a math genius, maybe you can, but most people will just, I'm in and let's see, because we're rolling anyway. So I think this is especially good for the PQs around 33 to 45 players.
That's a good point.
Because it's only going to affect 8 people at Worlds, and 4 of them it's going to be negatively. But it's a great rule. I think it's not a day too late, and it's not they're not overdoing it. They are almost underdoing it, but it's something, and you feel like you get rewarded. I think this might be just amazing, because it's especially good for maybe control decks, or that needs to, in certain matchups, go first or second. For example, Bosk Blue really wants to go first against aggro, so they can put down the first unit and then power of the dark side the next round. But they can't put down the first unit if they go second, because they have to go first on turn 2. So I think this is good for certain decks as well. It's obviously, if you're bought for, it's going to be rough. But on the other hand, you just squeezed in maybe. So I think it's just completely fine.
To be upfront, I don't mind either way. I think this is fine. I think it's a huge boon to the people coming in 1 through 4, and I don't think that you necessarily have to give a huge boon to top 4, but I don't mind them getting it. This is not something that I've been clawing for, but since there are a lot of people that really like it, I think it's a good thing. Why not make a lot of people happy? it seems like a good idea.
I don't think it's that huge. It's not going to affect, like, some decks doesn't even care. Like,
Sure.
like most decks, like if you see Cad Bane, for example, or Quinlan, some have the matchups that they are just saying, you need to play first either way. So I'm just passing. I don't care if I go first and pass, or if you pass into me. I'm just going to say pass and let you play the first unit anyway. And in those circumstances, it doesn't really matter. But it's something. And it's also like an incentive. Like when you go to the final, if you are first seed, you know you're going to pick the initiative every round. Like that can be impactful if you take it all the way to the final, for example. I think it's basically like what they do in hockey and football in America. Like the higher seed gets one more home game than the other ones all the way through. Like, so I think it's cool. And it's not going to affect most players, but those who are competitive and get to the top and are tired. I know Jacob as well, friend of the pod, the crew, really despise not getting something for being the higher seed.
He's been King of Swiss so many times, and he's yet to win anything.
Yeah.
Like both of the Jacobs, they're on my team, and they've both been King of Swiss for a lot of major tournaments in the area, and they've just never amounted to anything.
It is not that important. Like, just get in at the moment. Now it's something, and I hope. I don't. It's not like you can come in 6th and feel cheated about it. Like,
no, exactly.
He has. Maybe you can feel unlucky because it was on tiebreakers, but like. It's more unlucky to be first seed and then in this really important matchup I have to roll a die.
See if in some cases to see if I can win this or not.
Yes,
it can be that extreme in some cases.
In some cases it's like Sabine is the biggest example I think of this, that the win percentage for Sabine goes up a lot if she goes first in many matchups. It's mostly all aggros is that way. So I think it's I think that's a really, really nice thing. And it doesn't, like, it's not like it requires a lot of the judges to inform about this. Like it's going to be very easy.
It's a simple rule that is easy for people to appreciate. So that's why I'm for it.
It's not as complicated as them changing the draw rule. Like that has both positives and negatives in it. This is mostly positives. From a competitive standpoint, it's just positive.
Should we mention that while we were at, or did you talk about that last week, the draw thing?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, so people are aware of it. Like when you draw, I mean, it's only as far as I know, it's only relevant for the new Ray units, and
you mean drawing card?
So that, no, we didn't talk about that, but that's actually relevant for that, and it's a good habit to be into either way, whether you're playing it anyway. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. So what they've changed is that when you draw a card, you have to. If you want, how would I put it? I don't remember the exact wording, but basically,
you can't put it into your hand if you have any triggers from drawing it. So if you draw a card and you put it straight into your hand,
so
you cannot
it touches your other
Ray.
cards.
Exactly. Then you cannot trigger Ray.
So if you want to reveal a card as part of drawing it, as for a Ray unit, you have to reveal it before it touches your other cards in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's still in the hand zone while you're drawing it, but you can't touch the other cards if you want to reveal it. And also, just to be clear, you have to also reveal it when you do the effects. So you can't put it back with Yoda or something, because then it doesn't happen.
So you need to keep it in hand for it to be considered to have been drawn. So with the Yoda effect, where you could put it on top of the deck, or with there's a set 1 yellow unit as well that lets you draw and discard a card. So if that's the card discarded, you can't trigger Ray.
So the recommendation from Jonah, who's the manager of the judge program, or I don't remember his title, is that you keep it revealed while you're in the draw, so to speak. So that because, for example, I don't remember what the name of that yellow card is. Where you if you have played another card this turn, your
Rogue or
opponent,
something like that.
yeah, or
Lethal
something,
Insurgent.
yeah,
Or,
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
lethal insurgents. That's it. Yeah, and so like you would draw a card and like, oh, that's Ray. Then you reveal it, but you keep it revealed while you're randomizing which card you're losing, because if you just reveal it, put it into your hand, and then you randomize a card. If you had another Ray and you're discarding the one that you draw, then you wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to trigger Ray because it's a different Ray. So you have to actually keep it revealed to do it properly.
But the thing about how you draw cards, I think that's for me who used to play Conquest, where this was a big thing. Drawing cards in a way that it's very clear which cards you're drawing and how many that is something that's a good habit to get into. So a very good way to do that is to just pick the cards you're going to draw every time, always when you're drawing cards. Pick them and put them on the table. Like if you're drawing 2 cards for the end of turn, put 2 cards from the top of your deck onto the table so that it's clear and visible that these are the 2 cards I draw. If you have triggers, look at them while they're at the table. Like when you're playing poker, you sort of bend the cards open. And then if you have triggers, you reveal. If not, you put them into your hand. But always make sort of a in-between state where it's clear that these are the cards I'm drawing. This is how many they are. So it's very visible for people to see that you're not cheating. Because when you just taking from your top of your stack into your hand, if people aren't watching clearly, there's always that slight suspicion, like, did he just draw 2 or did he draw 3? Like, there has been cheating going on with that sort of things. It's slightly easier in Magic when you're only drawing 1 card, but when you're drawing 2 cards, and if you draw both at a time, it's hard to tell if it's 2 or 3, you know? So make a very deliberate move and be clear about what you're doing.
Yeah. Good points.
Yeah. I think that's a good end note on rules.
I do want to mention one quick thing before we just real quick about the first we talked about when a spectator, because you can, if you do that, if you are giving unsolicited outside assistance, then even if you're like, how to put it, you get a game loss if you do that. So if you are in the tournament and you're like, hey, you remember to do this, you as a spectator will get a game loss for your next game.
Yeah.
So just so people know, it's so there is a very concrete and a bad thing.
So if you're 1 and 3, you can go and destroy everyone's game because you're already out. No.
Then you can be ejected from the.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. That's a good way to end the rules on, and soon close this episode out. I'm just gonna mention a little bit, and you're gonna get to comment it on Pontus. You have the videos on your Carbonite boxes coming onto the video. Like we just dropped the second one. It's the second of 3, or is it 4 openings?
There are 3 for Carbonite boxes, and then a 4th one with 3 boxes of normal boosters packs. So the 3rd one should be coming out like today or tomorrow, I think. If I'm not,
that's cool. That's commentary with you and Jonah, right?
Or, exactly. Yeah. So the first one is just the normal pack opening, but the 2nd and 3rd one I actually accidentally turned my mic off. So we made a little thing where Jonah and I had like a commentary over those. But in the last video with the normal, I turned the mic back on.
That's nice.
I think those have been really fun. I really appreciate these videos. So go watch them if you haven't. They're really good.
Yeah. And leave comments and like if you like this type of content, because then of course we will try to continue it. But yeah. That is
one more thing.
Yeah.
We are going to do a Q&A episode of this podcast. We were hoping to do it this week, but we were just a little bit too late and it's summer and everything. But we are going to do a Q&A episode eventually. So please do get us some questions, because that's something we're really looking forward to. You can leave questions for us in any of the commentating the podcast channels on our Discord or on the Swedish Discord, or just send it to us any way you like.
Yeah.
Please don't use bottle post in the water because that takes a long time. But
And guarantee
anyway,
we can answer the question if you do that.
exactly. But just get questions to us. That it'll be ask us anything.
Yeah. Ask us anything. That's a good way to wrap it up. Or is it the last thing? No, not this time. Thank you, Pontus, for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And thank you, Viktor, for joining up as well for another episode. You have been a strong contender for most episodes this summer so far.
Yeah, that's what it does when you have a long summer break as a teacher.
Yeah, has been really fun having this a little bit different episode, which is nice that we have from time to time. So
yeah,
I hope to see as many of you guys in Vegas. Me and Viktor is probably not joining next week on the pod. We are probably on the flight.
Excuses.
But if you are a fan of the pod, like, come and talk to us. Like,
please do.
And like, don't be afraid to send messages. I will be staying at the Venetian for the event. I think that's where it is. I'm staying on site.
Yeah,
at least.
it is.
So just don't be afraid to hit us up and just say that you love us.
We're so much looking forward to interacting with all of you.
All right. May the force be with you all, and see you in Vegas.
Bye-bye.
Bye.